So what stood out to you in the probable cause, seeing it now for the first time?
Reading through that, a couple things that stood out was the consistency of talking about the description of the person that a number of witnesses saw, that male's clothing description and the time frame of being around the bridge, and then also the forensic analysis of the bullet that was found near the victim's bodies. But any bullet casing that's been ejected out of a semi-automatic handgun, whether that gun has been fired or not, it is pushed into the bottom part of the barrel, and then when the slide is racked and the bullet's ejected, even if it hasn't been fired, there's still an extractor that grabs the edge of that bullet, that flips it out, and that process often, not always, but often leaves marks and dents, and those marks and dents can be very specific to the weapon that it came out of. So even if it hasn't been fired, in a laboratory, they can go back, put a similar type of shell casing in it in a laboratory environment, eject that round, and then compare the two.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and happy Halloween! Anybody going to any Halloween parties or taking their kids trick-or-treating or anything? What are you guys dressing up as, if you are? If you're going to any parties. Okay, so I want to go over what happened at the hearing today, Richard Allen's hearing, and also read through the emails that came out yesterday between Judge Francis Gall, and the prosecution, McClelland, and Richard's old attorneys, Baldwin and Rozzi. All right, so let's get into it. So here is a article by WTHR 13. Tuesday's hearing in the Delphi murders case started 40 minutes late, of course, and centered around disqualifying Richard Allen's former attorneys for representing him, and then setting a new trial date. Allen is accused of killing Libby German and Abby Williams in February 2017. During the hearing, Allen's former attorneys, Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rozzi, were sitting next to him, and his newly court-appointed public defender sat behind him. Judge Francis Gall told Richard Allen, "I cannot and will not allow these attorneys to represent you." She then disqualified Baldwin and Rozzi from representing him, even pro bono. So they actually offered pro bono. They said they will represent Richard pro bono, and she still said no. Just bullcrap. Anyway, so the judge says, "I'm sorry that this happened, Mr. Allen." Baldwin's attorney, David Hennessy, spoke to the judge about his disqualification. He said the judge did not give them any notice of the alleged gross negligence on the defense's part, so they were not prepared for the ruling on them not representing Allen. He said that the judge's summary ruling violates the Constitution and is unfair to Allen and his defense. Baldwin told the judge, "Allen asked us to represent him." Rozzi then said to the judge, "We're on a different page on how we acted." Drawing. So wait a minute, is that supposed to be the new lawyer? Because that looks like Baldwin and that's Rozzi, right? I'm guessing, I don't know. Oh yeah, Bradley Rozzi, Andrew Baldwin. Oh, Hennessy, yeah, okay. Consult with attorney David Hennessy Center in Carroll County Circuit Court, October 31st. The state told the judge its concern is for Allen to have a fair trial. Allen's recently appointed public defenders asked the judge to push his trial back. It was originally set for January 24th, 24, but is now set for October 15th through the 31st, 2024. In a filing, Allen's new court-appointed attorneys, William S. Librato and Robert C. Scremin, noted that they were appointed to the case October 27th and have not received discovery, stating it will be impossible for counsel to be ready for trial in January 2024. Allen's attorney said that they have not talked to the state yet. A return of discovery is coming by the end of the week. The prosecutor did not object to the appointing of new attorneys or moving the trial back. 13 Investigates had previously learned that two attorneys who were Allen's original defense team in the Delphi murders case filed appearances late Monday to be officially back on the case. Baldwin and Rozzi had told the court that they planned to represent Allen as pro bono attorneys if the judge didn't reappoint them as public defenders. In court documents obtained by 13 Investigates, both attorneys cited the tremendous time they had already put in the case, contacting witnesses, conducting depositions, and reviewing and analyzing evidence. They also noted their push to have the court consider the request to suppress evidence gathered in the search of Allen's home. Gall had ordered Baldwin and Rozzi removed as attorneys of record and last week appointed 2 new public defenders to represent Allen. And then we know from that filing where Baldwin and Rozzi both claimed Gall coerced them to withdraw from the case during an in-chambers meeting that happened before the hearing scheduled for the afternoon of October 19th. Rozzi wrote that Judge read a prepared statement detailing a number of grievances with how the defense had been handling the case and what she called gross negligence, before she gave them the choice to withdraw or to have the statement read in open court and then be disqualified from the case. In court on October 19th, Gall told the assembled crowd that she had accepted Baldwin's verbal withdrawal and that she expected Rozzi to submit his withdrawal in the next few days. In the appearances filed Monday evening, both attorneys reiterated that they did not withdraw voluntarily. Last week, Baldwin and Rozzi filed a motion to disqualify Gall from the case. They claimed she violated a number of rules of judicial conduct and is prejudiced against the defense counsel. They asked that she recuse herself and a new judge be appointed. And then in a letter made public Monday as part of a filing in a different but related case, Allen wrote to the court on October 11th that he did not want Baldwin and Rozzi removed from his case. I want Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Rozzi to continue to represent me until this case is resolved, one way or the other. I believe they are acting in a manner that is in my best interest, Allen wrote in the letter to Gall. It would be unfair to not let the defendant have who he wants to represent him, okay? It would be in his best interest to keep his attorneys, in my opinion. And he even says that, so it's just bullcrap. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple articles here that are interesting with kind of explains what's the next step here, okay? So we have this one by Journal and Courier. Suspected Delphi killer Richard Allen has new court-appointed attorneys over his objection for the time being. I have grave concerns about their representation, Gall told Allen, noting he is entitled to a vigorous defense. I cannot and will not let these attorneys represent you. I cannot allow that. I have appointed able counsel to represent you, Gall said, calling the actions of his first 2 public defenders gross negligence. I'm sorry this has happened to you. Gall's decision, as well as previous decisions since she signed on as special judge, are now an issue before the Indiana Supreme Court. A motion for writs to correct Gall's decisions in the Allen case, including dismissal of defense attorneys Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rozzi, was filed Monday and is pending before the Indiana Supreme Court. All parties have until November 9th to submit their briefs and arguments to the Supreme Court, according to an order published Tuesday. Baldwin and Rozzi said October 19th, after a hearing in Gall's chambers, that they would withdraw from the case, but neither formally filed the paperwork. Instead, the 2 filed Monday to represent Allen as private counsel, agreeing to work for free. They showed up for Allen's hearing Tuesday, but Gall, an Allen County judge, dismissed them, then affirmed her earlier appointment of Allen County Public Defenders Robert Scremin and William Librado, who also attended the hearing. David Hennessy, an attorney representing Baldwin, asked to address the court about the order to remove Baldwin and Rozzi, who were now private counsel, not public defenders. The court appears to be saying it's protecting Mr. Allen, but the court's finding of gross negligence is arbitrary, Hennessy said. Hennessy argued that had Baldwin and Rozzi been given advance notice about the nature of the October 19th hearing in Fort Wayne, they would have been prepared to rebut Gall's claims of gross negligence and provided defense against being removed. Your summary ruling violates the Constitution, Hennessy said. And then it goes on to say, for the past year, Allen has been housed in solitary confinement at Westville Correctional Facility for his protection. Baldwin and Rozzi claimed in April that Allen's mental health was in jeopardy and asked Gall to modify his pretrial incarceration to a county jail closer to Carroll County. That motion was denied. Allen's appearance in court Tuesday was the first time the public has seen him since his hearing in June, in which he appeared gaunt and unhealthy. Gall noted that there were still several motions pending before the court, including a motion to suppress evidence gathered during a search of Allen's home, and a Franks hearing that challenges the truthfulness of the police in obtaining the search warrant for Allen's home. No dates for these matters were set during Tuesday's hearing. Okay, and then I want to read you a part of this other article. So it's an article by 13 WTHR. It said, the verified petition for writ of mandamus and prohibition filed Monday morning, seeks intervention by the Supreme Court to reinstate court records the judge ordered to be removed, and to not order the removal of any additional court files. It also asked the High Court to order Judge Francis Gall not to remove any additional court records from public access without first meeting requirements established by state rules. It's a really fancy legal way of saying, follow the rules and don't break them again, explained longtime defense attorney and former deputy prosecutor Katie Jackson Lindsay. She said the new Supreme Court filing is intended to hold the judge accountable for ensuring that important court records are public as the Supreme Court intended in its published rules. Those attorneys are not only raising a violation of Richard Allen's rights, they're raising a violation of the rights of the public because we, as the general public, have the right to full transparency of our court system and to know what's going on with legal cases. To that end, she has not complied with the rules. So it looks like they're going to wait on the Supreme Court to see what to do. As of now, it looks like they're off the case, but it's going to ultimately come from the Supreme Court, from what I understand. So they're going to figure out who's off the case. They're going to consider, I'm sure, what the two lawyers had to say about Judge Gall and her actions, and then look into Baldwin and Rozzi to see if they should be disqualified or whatever from the case. So.
Down the hill.